Yo boys, back with another video. Yes, I do have a new mic, so you guys want to tell me how it sounds, if it's better or not. I have a snowball and then I also have a razor, so I'm going to be trying those out and testing around. But right now we're playing Firo Convoke and we're playing Rogue, basically what we were playing in season, I don't even know what season we were playing. It was like season 1, maybe season 2. Here we end up cheap shotting. We're going to get a Convoke go on this guy, so we end up getting Trinket from him. So we end up getting double Trinket, Orb, Darkness, and Evasion, so legit every button. The problem with darknessing there is as you can see, he instantly goes out of darkness is the worst thing that you can do. You only want to use darkness whenever you know you can stay in it to get the max, efficiency of the cooldown. So he basically just used it to get out of it in 1 second, so it's a useless cooldown. So at this point, they have no cooldowns. We have everything. So all we need to do is blind the monk and Kenny the DH. You got to make sure when you blind, though, you don't have them stacked, because if they are, you're not going to be able to get it convoked. So here I end up using my tech, but make sure you space out your tech or else you're not going to be able to get it. We absolutely destroy him, as you can see there. Very unfortunate for that guy, but that's how it goes when you have no CDs. Now, if this was done what it just did that DH on a warrior with no cooldowns, it would be great. I think any class right now with nobody having any cooldowns or like ND stance should instantly die to somebody clicking every button. That's just how it should be. If you're dumb enough to click every button without both your teammates clicking both their buttons, and there's not much to tell you about that one. So my guy ends up my guy's running a bleed / convoke build. So here this guy ends up trinketing sap and standing there. So I guess he forgot how to click the W or like tranquility. So now he gets full sapped. I don't even know what he trinketed actually. I'm trying to think. Did he trinket a stun? I don't. What happened? Trying to think of what he trinketed. I wasn't even paying attention. I thought I was on the weird the entire time, and my guy doesn't have cyclone with his build, so I'll have to look back at it, I guess. You guys will have to tell me in the chat, or in the. I just called you guys chat. That's very unfortunate. I feel like I'm like a 9-year-old streamer. That's very sketchy. So at this point, all we're going to be doing is waiting for blind, and we're going to blind the druid and then stun the warrior. Now, we're going to pre-open on the warrior so then we can stun him. Just make sure you never convoke whenever there's no stuns. So basically, he stormbolts me before I can stun him, and my guy forgets to use his stun and just convokes. Obviously, this is his first time on druid since, the expansion started. So, I cut him some slack. But in this situation, all we're going to do is wait for blind. We're going to open, get our 7 common points, kidney, burst, win. Because I still have blades. My guy has convoke. This guy has no cooldowns. It's pretty much GG. They have no wall, no nothing. And he has his actual trinket coming up in 10 seconds. So here, I end up getting my common points. I end up blinding. He stormbolts. My guy ends up invoking. The guy forgets how to use his button kick. So he sits a full convoke, and then he instantly just dies. Had he kicked from invoke, I'm pretty sure he still would have died with like the amount of bleeds he had on him. But still, you need to kick those convokes. I kind of have a. I feel like I'm getting a cold, so I'm just making this video. So I'm saying my nose is drowning out here. So very unfortunate. So in this situation, we're facing UGR, which means we're instantaneously going to be winning. The X-Vic doesn't lose to any of his people on his friends list. So just remember that. If you're on my friends list, there's a 99% chance of non-survivability, unless it's a 1v2 situation. Actually, it honestly need to be an RBG group versus me in order for me to lose like huge. So here I end up sapping him for no reason. Here, don't sap. Blind him and then sap off the blind. That was a dumb sap. I don't know what I was thinking, but this guy dies instantly. I'm talking about instantaneously. He says, "Get out of my face, kid." And he ends up dying in the opener without clicking Trinket. So anytime my guy would have had the trinket as soon as that blind went off, not waiting for the blind. He needed to instantaneously trinket the blind and instantly ironbark. Or honestly, the rogue just needed trinket evasion. But then again, if he trinkets, then I just shadowy duel him and he pretty much dies anyway. So here we're CCing the ret. The reason we go DH here is we want to get his trinket, and then all we have to do is shadowy duel him with full burst, and he's pretty much dead. So I end up disarming the ret. So I told my teammate, as soon as they're both on you, just use survival. So as you can see, anytime a DH and a ret are both on you, they're gonna use everything, and he pre-survived the hunt. He probably would have been dead right now if he didn't do that. I end up sapping him here. So we get a good pre-sap. So basically a good opener. Now it kind of sucks that my guy doesn't have Cyclone, because then you get a lot of efficiency. See, here this guy's dead. There's nothing he can do. He's at 50%. I have full damage. He's dead. So all we have to do is start on the red. You don't just want to instantly vanish out. You want to try to get bubble first and then vanish out. And I did what other people would do, is I actually trinket the blind here. I end up sapping him for no reason, because I'm like that. I'm built differently. So he ends up blinding here. This is where you don't want to trinket, because if he does have a Hodge, he can kill you. But then again, he has no wings, so I wasn't really scared. But you never know. The game's in a wild place right now. So here what we're going to do is we're going to sap the Evoker, and this is actually a decent monk. He actually does a pretty good play for, you know, the MMR is really low. Like, the amount of hard games you had to play is crazy. I've never had to play, it basically feels like a Season 4 Shadowlands with the MMR. It feels like I'm facing, at 1600 it feels like I'm facing 2K or 2100 players, and at 1800 I'm facing 22 players, and at 2K I'm facing 2400 players. It's crazy how just dumb the MMR, or just, to me it's just, the game just needs to balance out the damage. They need a nerf SP, nerf assassination, nerf the feral rip, the triple rip, because that in solo queues it's just doing way too much damage. Nerf warrior. I know Mud said something about buffing warrior wall, and I would be fine with them doing that as long as they nerf the damage. Fury damage needs to be, I think MS in general needs to be gutted. That's what I think. I think MS is so dumb. In 2s, you already start at almost 20% dampening. There is no reason somebody should have 40% reduced healing, especially right now with nobody being able to heal. The only class that can heal is Mistweaver, Wrestle Druid, and Evoker. And maybe like Wrestle Shaman on occasional comps. Like any warrior or anything with MS versus a Wrestle Shaman, like Assassination Rogue, you're not able to heal. It's not possible. I think it's just dumb. So here he ends up pre-ropping, so we're not even going to open. So we got rop for free. So we're just going to run away. At this point, it's DR'd on the Evoker. What we could do is we could vanish to reset the blind, or we could sap the monk and go Evoker. The Evoker he doesn't have his heal through stuns, that big heal that he has. So at this point, we can just sap the Windwalker. The Evoker has nothing to pre, so he's pretty much just toast revened. And pretty much my guy gets Evoke, I get my blades, this is every cooldown, and he dies. My guy ends up almost dying through survival and skin here, which is actually pretty crazy. Now, trust me, don't try to be like Peekaboo. Don't play Tauren. It's really bad. Tauren has to be the worst thing that you can play. Tauren gives you nothing but HP, and it's not worth it as anything that's like a Rogue or a Windwalker or a DH. Obviously, you can't beat it as a DH, but you know what I'm saying. Don't be a Tauren. They give you HP, but as our spec in classes, we just take unlimited damage. So there's no point. Trust me, don't do it. Just play like Night Elf, Orc, Gnome. Anything else would be better. Even Goblin, getting that extra jump to victory would be pretty nutty. But at this point, he ends up getting me out. I end up getting both of them out. I'm not going to trinket this because they're not popping damage. Now he starts popping damage. So now I'm going to basically blind, stun, and we get trinket instantly. Now we're going to swap to the hunter here. So really good start to the game here. Got tranquility, got skin, got his trinket, and now we didn't get Ironbark. I end up nelfing out of here. So that's where that, third vanish. Now it kind of sucks that you don't get the shield when you re-stealth. I think they should take the vanish shield out of the game and give us back the re-stealth. It's just impossible to get a re-stealth versus this meta. Shadow Priest, Affliction Warlocks, Demo, it's just not possible. One singular bleed, you just instantly come out. I think it's dumb. And it's really just not, it's dumb. I think it's dumb. They just need to take out the vanish shield and give us the, re-stealth of an actual stealth. Here I end up absolutely destroying this guy. So here I get a huge crit. Now listen, don't run into arena if you don't have gear. Now this guy had 310 gear, but that's not enough gear to play. You need, like, my guy has no conquest gear, no enchants, and he absolutely gets farmed. Like, he's basically a glass cannon, like worse than I am. Like, if they focus him for 0.5 seconds, my guy goes from 100 to 40 in about one hit. So, thankfully, we were facing the people that we're facing, because if we were facing, like, 1,800 plus people, we probably would have got farmed, especially as the first games here. But here's the long game. This is where this guy misses spear, which is very unfortunate, for him. This is very good for us. But at this situation, we've basically gotten trinket, wall, and we're not looking too bad here. I end up sapping him. Now, the good thing about sapping him is giving my TI time to basically get his heals up. And the good part about sapping warriors is trying to get their enrage, because if you can get their enrage, I randomly come out to the charge again. I don't even know what I came out to. I think I'm for some reason I randomly come out of stealth, so that kind of sucks. My I think my thing ends up breaking it. No, he ends up trinketing and using his big stun, so that's perfect. And my guy's also running mass roots for like demo lux, so he's talented into mass roots. It's just really good, because the reason it's really good is like for, you know, BM hunters, for survival hunters, for demo warlocks, especially for warlocks in general. Basically anything with a pet, or just not even a pet. I mean, the roots just come in handy because they can only dispel one of them, so it's either dispel themselves or they dispel their teammate. And usually they dispel themselves because they're what's the word? They are, they don't care, basically. That's the word. So here he ends up stunning me. My guy ends up burrowing him off me, so very good. I still have my advantage, so I'm getting my combo points off my blades. And at this point, all we're going to be doing is either root. Actually, I get a really insane sap. Trust me, you guys would think that you wouldn't be able to get saps here, but I actually got one. So anytime your person's running, go for that sap, because usually they're not going to be able to hit him. So here, I can sap him right now. So I can sap 1, 2, 3 symbols, sap again, so I get the sap. That's 4 saps right there. I end up bursting him here. My guy ends up invoking, and we end up taking him out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know about the new mic, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys got in your vault, because I got nothing, so that's very unfortunate, but peace, boys. I'm out.